No matter whether it's tired or not, my child is always happy when I put it on my back and give it a ride.
Child? You mean the fungi we ran into earlier?
Yes. One was my
Right.
friend, and
Hopefully
the other was my
we're
child.
back and we're all good in the hood and we'll be fine. I checked my internet. The upload had gone down a bit, but not like horrendously. Like it got down a bit, but not enough that it should disrupt the stream the way it did. It was my download that's like take a tanking. Like it's gone from like the usual 100, it like went to like 20 or something around there. Like it's kind of like,
Then it must be a real
I wish I had an
thing.
answer. I really wish. Like
You know, like Bongo
my stepdad mentioned the other day that it might be because there's like roadworks on like some of like the internet wires like around our block and it might be affecting it, but at the same time like I don't know, I don't know if it can be just that, because it's really precisely annoying if they keep somehow like affecting us like this, you know. But hopefully I can figure out something eventually, hopefully. My best case scenario would be if I could wire in the internet, but that's easier said than done because the internet I connect to is on a separate floor. But I'll try and figure something out. I'm always trying to see if I can find new avenues. If I can get to the bottom of it and fix it, it would be helpful, but...
That's right.
Anyway, I think this is around about where we got to, dialogue-wise. Genshin completely auto-saves everything because of its server connection, so I have to basically... Those first 40 minutes that had a little bit, like, stuttery with the internet, I have to just leave as is, because I can't redo it, because of just how the nature of how Genshin connects to the server and whatnot. You miss it, it's gone, kind of thing.
Its name is... I'm sorry, but I've forgotten.
Anyway, at the end of the stream, I theorized, at the end of the last bit, I theorized that this elemental being, if it bumped into an adventurer on the road that talked to it, it was almost definitely Alice, because it's always bloody Alice. It's always her that seems to just talk to and engage with everything, and have an influence on everything. Don't worry, you can try and remember it on the way.
Yes, I must remember it before I return. It's just as important as my homeland. Yes, this way. We're almost there.
Yep. Let me mark this off, because we got the new... There. Get the exclamation point off. The new event just started. I won't do it on stream. I tend to... Unless it's like a big deal event, I tend to not do them on stream anymore. This was in here before. I was going to say, I've done the Withering Zones. This is plot-based. I've cleared all the Withering Zones. Assuming there isn't one in the new area somewhere I haven't found yet.
Yes, I have heard humans also call it that before. It's the last form we take when we are at the end of our life.
Oh, this is tied to you guys.
Paimon doesn't understand. It's trying to say that when they've suffered enough and reached the end of their life, they become a tumor of the withering.
Yes, I would have also suffered the same fate if it wasn't for the Lord of Dendro's help.
Oh, geez, considering how close you were to the city, yeah, it's a good thing we helped then.
So, this is how the withering is formed? Previous research has revealed that forbidden knowledge is the root cause of the withering. But even if forbidden knowledge has been completely removed, its influence still remains, which is why the withering remains.
So it can't just be tied to the forbidden knowledge, it has to be tied to these elemental beings as well. Yeah, that tracks. There's also a good in-law explanation. If you've done the main story before clearing out the Witherings, why the Withering Zones are still there. That's a good way of explaining it for the game. It's just, oh, there's something else that keeps them going. Don't worry about it.
They've been tormented by forbidden knowledge for a long time. It's understandable that they will...
We're probably going to have to clear it out, though.
But what a sad and pitiful end.
When I left my homeland, flowers like these filled the fields. Each bloom represented an individual life. They grew in the pristine lakes, in the fertile soil.
This is kind of close to the city, we probably should deal with it.
And in the homes of my friends. They grew everywhere. Until the world suddenly lost all its color and became tainted and murky. But it's all right. Our life essence, elemental power, still resides in this flower. After an adventurer clears the withering, I will quietly draw near the area. If I can sense the elemental power of my companions, then I take them with me.
But that would mean the effects of forbidden knowledge could have...
It's okay. That's not important anymore. I just hope that they can all make it back home. It's not right to leave them to simply perish in the open like this. Now that we finally... Each one I managed to bring back will make me that much happier.
I understand. Just leave it to us.
I got this.
So you're worried about me. It's fine. Forbidden knowledge doesn't exist anymore. It's natural to want to be overcautious when dealing with a highly venomous snake. But when all that's left is its skeleton, there's nothing to worry about.
You say that, but the withering can still absolutely terminate you. The withering's one of the most terrifying effects they put in Genshin. Oh, if you hit 100% withering, you're just game over. just deal with it.
Ayana doesn't get what you two are talking
Like, it doesn't just kill your character, it wipes your party. It's just, if you wither, you game over, bottom line.
Then let's do this. We've dealt with the withering
To be fair, I've yet to actually be withered away once. I've gotten close to, I've got to like 90% before, but I've yet to actually be withered away. And I'm surprised it isn't like a permanent withering zone somewhere in the game, just so like it's still something that can happen. Oh, I have like no energy for charge attacks. There we go.
I see everything.
Gotcha. Busted. Shudder. Time to go.
Then I suppose, like, two members of my party, the reason why, like, I find Withering Zone so terrifying is because of the game mode, because two members of my party are built around their health, and the Withering tanks your max health.
Beg for mercy.
So because they scale off of HP, they just have less to work with, so they get weaker. Yelan and Hu Tao both just get screwed over if I'm in Withering for too long. Let's get rid of it.
As I expected, it's the last of my kind that I'm aware of. So it wasn't able.
Well, I said the new weekly boss might have something to do with Withering. That would be a cool gimmick.
Could have held on just
I haven't actually looked into like the new weekly boss like at all. I know nothing about it.
I hope that you will be free of this pain after returning home. Just thinking about how many elemental life forms have turned into tumors of the withering makes Paimon sad.
Which, to be fair, I usually don't do when it comes to like the new weekly bosses, because usually I'm not that fussed. It's just the Sumeru storyline I think is the most interesting storyline Genshin's had so far, and so I kind of want to absorb everything as I go as it happens. Like when it was Inazuma, when it was like, oh, the 2.5 I think it was weekly boss is gonna be like the Raiden Shogun clone. I was like, okay, sure. In 1.5, I think it was 1.5. Yeah, 1.6 was the first visit to the Holiday Island, the archipelago. I wasn't into the game, so I was already like super into Genshin. I wasn't that into its story, so I just didn't care. So I was just like, oh, new boss fight, oh, new music.
It's okay. As long as elemental power still exists, then we will still be around. An external form is but a gift of time. Through growth comes
But I wasn't that
change.
deep into Genshin's lore and story right at first. It was only like
However,
after like I took a small break from it and came back to it that I got more into the lore and story. Because like a lot of people, around 2.1, when the Inazuma storyline ended up being kind of weak, and both Raiden Shogun and Kokomi's story, like personal stories, were kind of meh. Like nothing really happened with it. And then 2.2 was kind of like a nothing update as well, to an extent. Like, it had that new island and its own little mini-story, but there was nothing really else going on. Like a lot of people, I did kind of feel the burnout a little bit, so I took a bit of a break from it. But when I came back to it, I got a lot more into it, because they started really committing to, like, just a lot of random new ideas that just really worked out, and I got more invested in the story and lore.
It wouldn't have come to this if we were able to cure them earlier.
Oh, whoops, didn't mean to whack the mic. I'm sorry, I'm just I'm repositioning.
But I will
They're
cure
sitting
all of
comfortably,
them.
and I just tapped the mic.
if it's just for the sake of the rainforest and all the life forms that live in it.
Thank you, Lord of Dendro. It was a wise choice for us to place our trust in you and wait.
Hold on. I think I got something.
What do you mean you got something, Nahida? What was that, like a fantasy goddess phone call? Why did your eyes flash and you just go, oh, hang on a minute?
Oh, I see. Okay, I understand. Thank you so much. So, they found a fungus that matches the description I gave them. It's currently unconscious.
Oh, right. Nahida, you did send like a message into people's heads to look for something. So yeah, I guess that makes sense that they'd come back with something eventually.
Similar situation as I was. We should hurry and go take a look.
Okay, follow me.
I like how this thing has got such a robotic voice, yet it was like dancing on the spot in excitement when we said, hey, there's another one of your kind somewhere. It's like, we should go take a look. There is another of my kind, whilst it's like doing like the boogie.
We're close now. It's just a little further inside.
Is it that red one?
There are so many fungi here. They're probably all ordinary fungi, right?
We won't be able to avoid a fight if we startle them.
They won't be happy to see us.
No fighting. These are all its...
What are you, Nanako from Persona 4? No fighting!
Although we belong to different species, we've spent a long time living among the fungi. They are very important to us. They can be reasonable, as long as we try to communicate.
What should we do? You're the only one who can make it through, right?
Yeah, and we've already, like, if I check my archive, massacred a lot of fungi. I think we're like enemy numero uno. I don't think they're going to be too keen on us.
Power if you want to save that fungus. I've got an idea. Can you teach me how to change into a fungus?
Nahida, no!
You want to transform into a fungus? But we don't have time for growth.
Nahida is a god. Changing into a fungus should be a piece of cake for her.
Even gods can't bend the laws of time so easily.
Yeah.
Then we'll have to enter with the risk of being noticed.
I kind of wanted to see what Nahida, like, fungi would have looked like.
But if spending some of my power will guarantee the safety of you and its family, then I'm willing to try.
All right. You have great elemental power, so you may...
Oh, actually, we might be able to.
You will have to use power equal to that which is required to break through the limitations of time. I will lend you the relevant knowledge that I have. It should make your transformation process a little
I feel like this is like
easier.
breaching some kind of like science fiction rule. Oh yes, you're going to breach the law of time to transform your existence. I feel like there's some kind of science fiction rule that'd be like, no, like the time gods would come stop you.
Interesting experience.
Lord of Dendro, this is nothing to joke about. I am extremely serious about this.
As am I. I'm not joking at all. All right. Let's not get hung up here. If it's really possible to turn into a fungus, then why don't we give it a try now?
Okay. Good luck, Lord of Dendro.
Oh, for God's sake, of course it worked.
Wow, you really turned into a fungus.
How'd you like it?
It's actually not too bad. My perspective in this form isn't much different from usual. The unconscious fungus is just below
This is so weird. It's just Lumine, Paimon, and two flying blue slime things, basically now.
How do we do that? I'll get close to them while you make your way over from above.
I like how Nahida's voice isn't even remotely warped. The other thing's voice is like super robotic and warped. Nahida's just Nahida, but in a like flying fungi slime thing form. Identified them. Okay, use the emerald sight.
All you have to do is repeat the correct answer in your mind. As long as I'm able to see you, then I'll be able to hear your answer. Okay, got it.
Let me lure away the fungi up top and make way for you.
All right, good luck, Nahida. Let's go, traveler.
So we gotta find out which one's the one that can chit-chat with us. Great. Oh, we're actually in control? Oh, okay. Oh, so I'm not actually pressing the controller at all. This is just like a fixed camera scene. Well, I'm not doing anything. I'm not moving the camera. I'm not moving. I'm not pressing anything.
There's a fungus on patrol in the center there. It looks pretty vigilant, so I'd better go around it.
Oh, it's one of these.
Why is it reacting like that? Uh-oh, the fungus on patrol noticed me.
What? God damn it. So I just guessed wrong. Yeah, okay, thanks, game. Hey, do you want to take a left or take a right? Oh, I don't know, take a right. What? Come on. That's basically what happened. I'll take a left instead.
There's a fungus on patrol in the center there.
Okay, that was kind of cute.
It seems they didn't notice me. It seems that fungus won't be moving for the moment. I should hurry and make my way through.
This is cute. Oh, now I can spin the camera.
This is the spot. There are several fungi here. I'll hide and wait for the traveler to catch up.
Meanwhile... Yeah, I want. Yeah, of course, it's the one laying down. I knew that without the elemental sight.
So this is the one. Understood.
Nahida used their elemental power on the fungus. Seeing their companion regain consciousness, the nearby the nearby fungi probably get like cool with us.
Nahida? What's wrong? I never knew that it was so tiring to change forms like that.
Well, you did break the rules of time or some shit. No wonder you're tired.
I even used
Twice, because you had to change back.
Seems like its warnings were not unfounded.
The power of time accumulates slowly and goes unnoticed. A great price is to be paid if you wish to perform drastic changes instantly. Thank you for everything you've done. All seems to have gone according to plan. Now, we simply wait for it to wake up.
Is he going to talk as well? Of course it is.
Who are you? I apologize. Language is not easy. Need long time.
It's okay, I have good news. Let me explain it to you the fungi way.
And then the thing went, no, 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 or whatever they talk like.
Apocalypse ended? Go home now?
Yes. Unfortunately, I've forgotten where home is. I was hoping you still remembered.
I remember.
I remember.
Really? That's great! Home, Dendro Dragon.
Home, the new boss fight. Then Lumine's just like, huh? Dendro Dragon?
Dendro Dragon. Ah, yes, the Dendro Dragon.
Oh, you remember too now, do you? Great.
Sorry, I just got so excited. I've probably never expressed such emotions before. But yes, our home is the Dendro Dragon.
Oh, wait a minute. Paimon's confused. Do you mean the Dendro Dragon as in an elemental dragon? Like Dvalin? Yes, they're both dragons, but at PEP, the Dendro Dragon has been around for longer and has accumulated dense elemental power.
Alright, a new name for me to learn. Apep, the Dendro Dragon. Like most things here, there's probably some kind of naming referencing to real-world cultures, so I will be interested to kind of find out what a pep might be a reference to or an acknowledgement of, because like it's the same with Deshere is in reference to like Egyptian stuff and whatnot, and there's like an Al Alma, which is like a reference to stuff as well. Like, so I'm curious to see what a pep is in like in correlation with.
But I don't quite understand. Why would you
Sort of
say
like
that
how
your
in
home is a
Mondstadt,
dragon?
I forget the name of the wolf, but there's the giant wolf that you can fight, like Borealis or something. What it is, it's like basically the wolf of the north. Like everything's like got correlations to like real folklores or real stories of different cultures and different things, whatnot. It's part of the reason why I ended up getting super into Genshin's lore in the first place, because I love the correlations and I love learning it.
Because we live inside the Dendro Dragon.
Oh, okay.
The Dendro Dragon. Inside. Very big. Mountains. Water. Trees. Us.
There is an entire world inside the Dendro Dragon's body. The Dendro Dragon nurtured the earliest life forms and protected us inside of itself.
I will say though, if it's called the Dendro Dragon, that means it's probably heavily tied to, you know, grass and nature. So if it's also a boss fight, I'm just saying I've got a character that can use fire, we might be fine. I'm just saying if a big grass dragon shows up, I have a character that can set their weapon on fire. I think we'll be fine. I think Hu Tao will just rip it apart. We'll just like start poking it away with our torch.
He once told us in a majestic voice that once we finally matured, we'd be able to start life in a new world. However, that day never came. Our homeland was the greatest place there ever was before the apocalypse arrived.
I'm still confused.
Is it like Dendro slimes giving birth to smaller slimes?
Yes, a very good example. It appears that you're much smarter than Paimon.
Of course I'm much smarter than Paimon.
Paimon.
Paimon's supposed to be the travel guide that knows everything, and yet she's the one that asks the most questions, because she never knows everything. So, what's new?
Wait, then if that's the case, doesn't that imply that Apep has also been contaminated by forbidden knowledge?
Yes, that is correct. What has suddenly made you look so worried, Lord of Dendro? I haven't seen this expression on you before.
Well, of course the Archon's gonna be worried. Hey, yes, our ancient forefather that kept us all safe may also be corrupted by the thing that, like, murdered most of our race. Yeah, gee, I wonder why she's worried. Come on.
Apep is the most adaptable life form in the world. The forbidden knowledge should have become a part of its body a long time ago.
Oh, okay. So it's like an encyclopedia of, like, world events then, got it. It's not like in the same way Irminsul is, but close enough.
Which means that if all the forbidden knowledge has been eliminated, then a big void will also form inside the dragon. I'm afraid so.
Oh.
Its body and soul have probably been in terrible shape for some time.
And is that how it's going to become a boss then? Because it's like this existing Wikipedia, an absorber of knowledge. If you delete the knowledge from all existence, yet it's already absorbed it into its DNA, what happens to its DNA? Got it. Yeah, that's how it's going to become like an evil, vicious boss then, and not this protector of a race that it's supposed to be. Got it. I can see how it's coming together.
No wonder I haven't seen Apep for so long. But how did it get contaminated? Was it due to the destruction of King Deshret's civilization?
What did I say earlier? When I said, hey, the whole thing with the desert was because of King Deshret. Or Deshret, because I always pronounce it wrong. See, I know my shit. Sometimes.
But anyway, Apep disappeared and has been gone ever since that time. It's been enduring unimaginable pain all the while. It's probably in pain as we speak.
So saving the Dendro Dragon is the important thing you need to do?
Yes! How could I have forgotten? If the Dendro Dragon fails to hang on, the elemental power inside it will no longer be able to maintain its form, and will all be dispersed.
Oh, geez, that would cause a lot of problems. If its elemental power is the reason why an entire race of beings even exists, if that power burst out of it, that would probably cause a lot of devastation as well. That's probably what that giant void that's in the new area is about.
Dendro elemental power of that concentration.
It's probably a consequence of that.
The rainforest to overgrow.
Cause the rainforest to overgrow.
Giant trees will completely block out the sun. Plants and humans will fight over oxygen. Samira will no longer be suitable for sustaining life.
Nahida, calm. We'll sort this out. Nahida, get a hold of yourself.
Hey, what about the crystal? Why don't you show it to them and see if they know anything about it? Yes, I'm sorry. You're right. We don't have time to panic.
I think Nahida's the first Archon to actually show any sign of, like, not being in control. Because Venti was too drunk to care. Zhongli is way too professional in how he handles everything that he would never show if he was panicking or unsure of himself or anything like that in that sense. Raiden is very much an extremely curious cat in a lot of ways, but has this, like, wall that she puts up in front of everything. Nahida, however, straight up just panicked for a second there. She was just like, hang on, if we don't stop this dragon, or, like, protect it from itself, it might explode and, like, cause all the forest to so heavily overgrow it kills people.
Have you two ever seen anything like this before?
No. Its power feels very familiar.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm so glad the Animo fungus stayed around. Have you seen this before? No. And that's all that's contributed to the conversation.
I'm sorry our memories aren't very reliable.
It's okay. I'll contact my helpers just as I did before and see if they can locate your other family members. I'm counting on you all. Your info is crucial to us now. Let's wait for their reply again, though I know waiting can feel unbearable at a time like this.
Thank you. Family bringing fruit.
I explained to them that you aren't hostile. After seeing you save it, its family is very grateful to you.
Go home, leave. Hard decision. Don't know.
Animo, if you want to stay here, stay here. You've got a new family and new friends.
They are weak. I worry. If waiting, then I hope.
Don't worry. I understand what you are trying to say. Family is very important to us. No matter when we were actually family.
I was going to say, it doesn't matter what nature of family it is. If you have the choice to go to the safety of your nest or be with your family, you're probably going to be with your family.
Can you do one last thing for it while we wait?
Of course. I can relate to how it's feeling. I need to organize my thoughts as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Tend soil. Food. Don't like plant invasion.
There are two things that it wants you to do. One is to look after the land that the food is
Oh,
grown
yeah, I
on,
got that, Hydra.
and the other is to drive
Help
away
out with
the
its
plants
farming
that
and
are
deal
trying
with the
to
local
invade the
weeds.
area.
Soil. There. First. Seed. Here.
Sure, we'll help you help out this thing with its farming problems while we wait.
Right away.
Attempt to the farmland. Way over there? Why is your farmland 150 meters away? Well, come on. But whilst we're heading over here, the general plan, like, schedules going forward. We've got the Hades weekends, which I said once or twice a weekend. It might just be on Fridays for now, since, you know, schedule's gonna be so chaotic anyway. But when it clears up, we'll get more on it. Trying to get Rise of Free done, because he's still got, like, the rest of the land we're in to explore. Like, a whole chunk of party members yet to join, and we've got whatever the fourth and presumable final region is, which I'm hoping is the Underworld, just because an Underworld explorative region would be badass. But we've got that. We've got RE4 we need to finish, and just in general continuation of it. It's going to be super busy, so to try and keep on top of things, something's got to give. And so making Hades like once, maybe twice on the weekend is gonna be our only way forward. Especially if these rumors of SMT 3, 4, and 5 going to Game Pass, which would probably also result in 4 and 5 going multi-platform.
Take it easy.
They're going to be on my list of priorities as well. I don't know why you're freaking out, Paimon. They're Whopper flowers.
Gotcha.
I used to grind these guys like crazy to build up resources.
That should be all of them. That wasn't too tough.
Nahida, you feeling better?
Yeah, I've calmed down now. But it doesn't seem like there's too much we can do until we receive some new leads.
Can you tell us about the Dendro Dragon? We don't know anything about it. Who is it? And what does it have to do with King Deshret?
Well, the history of dragons starts from the very beginning of Teyvat. Sumeru was Apep's territory. In those days, the lush rainforest covered the entire nation.
Oh, so there was no desert back then?
Paimon, we know this.
Not at first.
Yeah,
That
Paimon...
came when a giant spike fell from the sky, turning a huge section of the rainforest into sand.
Oh, okay, that makes sense as well. I always thought it was just because of King Desheret's death. He was the protector of the land.
In an attempt to adapt to its new environment, Apep changed color from the emerald green of the forest to the yellow.
So is
of the
Apep
sand.
less, like, even though it's called the Dendro Dragon, is it more like a chameleon if it changed its color to yellow to match the sand?
No wonder those two elemental life forms are always talking about the importance of adapting.
Apep has always seen itself as the master of Sumeru, and has refused to recognize the new order that was established. Even now, it probably still holds great hostility toward the gods.
So it will attack. Got it.
However,
You're doing a very good job
powerless
setting up
against
how
the
it's going to
power
be a
of the
boss.
sky, and then the forbidden knowledge many millennia later, it's been unable to stir up any trouble.
I thought the gods and dragons were on good terms.
Conflicts between the two sides are
I wonder
destined
why
to
we think
continue
that.
until a balance can be found.
Dvalin was not on good terms with Venti. I mean, admittedly, he was getting messed around with the Abyss, but it wasn't on good terms with Venti straight away, and it had to, like, be helped out. Ajdaha clearly was not on good terms with Zhonglei. The Raiden Shogun murdered Inazuma's dragon. You can literally find its skeleton on one of the islands. We haven't got a good track record of gods and their dragons getting along perfectly.
As far as I know,
I know they're supposed to
Apep
get
had been
along, but they
sloping
clearly
in the
don't.
desert, and King Deshret had taken a great interest in it.
It would be cool if one of the
Maybe
Archons
this
did
is
get
why
along with
Apep
their
is
dragon, though.
contaminated.
Imagine we go to, like, we go meet Folklores in the Kingdom of Law when Fontaine comes out, and, like, she's introduced, like, riding her dragon or some shit. That would be cool.
I'm not sure what may have led it to become involved, but rescuing it is definitely our top priority right now. The crystal that I have in my possession is probably the key that links the two matters together.
Enter the Withering Zone. Okay. I wonder where the new boss actually is located. I mean, I assume it's going to be over here, right? Because you've got this giant tree thing here. We've got this voidulant space here, which it could also be. But it's going to be... I assume it's one of them. But all we've done is go around the city around here and then gone back up here to the jungle. Like, we're so far away from it. But I suppose it depends how long this quest is. And this is also Genshin nowadays. These quests are getting longer and longer each update, I swear.
Thank you, Lord of Dendro. Family happy. You really like them, don't you? Family like. Do you not like your family? That's not what Paimon meant. It's just that you guys aren't actually the same species.
Why does that matter, Paimon? Well, just because they're not the same species doesn't mean they can't, like, look after each other like family.
Does that matter? Family likes me.
Yeah, it's found families, Paimon. Come on. Get with the program.
Paimon doesn't quite understand.
What it's trying to say is that as long as family members get along well, then nothing else matters. You place importance on appearances, but we do not.
I like how this thing's basically just called Paimon out for being, like, visually judgmental. It means you place importance on appearances, but we do not. It's like, yeah, you judge on first sight. We don't give a damn.
These are all things that are more reliable than mere external appearances. These are the fruits of time, and the essence of what it means to grow.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. Looks can always change, so what's inside of us is more important.
What if my looks
It
changed?
wouldn't matter. Paimon would still be able to recognize you right away.
Oh, Nahida's just got information from our little side quest.
Still nothing new from the forest. Seems like we won't be able to find your other family members for now. It appears we are out of leads to follow. And if no one knows how this crystal works, then a pet may be in danger.
Sorry.
It's okay. It isn't your fault. I don't think it's a coincidence that neither of you can remember anything about the crystal.
Yeah, a pet may be actively trying to stop things remembering it. Or it could be something because if it's ties to Rukkhadevata.
Maybe it's because the crystal has a very close connection to forbidden knowledge, which causes memories of it to be unclear.
That's also another good theory.
And if that's the case, finding the other fungi still wouldn't help us at all.
The crystal and the apocalypse. The apocalypse and memories. Lord of Dendro, do you still remember the prophecy?
I do. What about it?
The prophecy is a story that connects events of the past and the future. A family member once said that the apocalypse is a part of us, and that there is value in preserving it. The rest of the family did not approve of its opinion at the time, so it left.
Okay.
Preserving the apocalypse? Do you mean that there's still some that hasn't been eliminated? That's not very likely. The power of Irminsul covers every inch of the land. Did the prophecy say where that family member went?
To the limitless depths east of Sumeru. A murky place.
The
that
chasm.
no one can return from.
Ooh, yeah, let's go to the chasm.
That must be the chasm, right? But
That
why
would
is
make
it
sense.
there? It's impossible to preserve forbidden knowledge, but what if it can be converted to a different form?
There's also a lot of other things, because we found a was it like a Wellet, I think they're called, in the new area when we was exploring. So there's already some like connections through it going towards it, because there's that giant Wellet-esque machine that you can find in the chasm.
I'm sorry if I'm suddenly not making any sense. However, I do think it's possible. Follow me. I'll explain it once we find that elemental life form.
We off to the chasm then? I like that. If you are unable to reach your destination, do Perils of the Dark first. It's saying if you're unable to get into the chasm, do the chasm quest. That's exactly what it's saying, yep. Yeah, you gotta do the chasm quest, got it. Oh, is it down here? Oh yeah, we're back in the chasm. God, the chasm was so long ago. Yeah, I haven't been in the chasm since the chasm quest. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's the exact same problem that Enkanomiya has. It's the exact same problem that Dragonspine has. The moment the quest is done there, you have no reason to return to it. It feels more in the forefront, though, with the Chasm and Enkanomiya, though, because they're extended map areas. They're not on like, the main map screen, so you don't think about it. I do love the Chasm, though. The Chasm's one of my favourite areas in the game, in terms of its design aesthetic, and I love the fact that you're so deep underground when you reach the bottom layer of it. There's something about the depths keep on finding a way to get deeper that adds like a very haunting effect to everything. Like you're already several miles beneath the ground, and then suddenly you realize it can go deeper, and it's like you can literally see like the edges of the abyss. You go so deep.
Wouldn't it already have become the Withering like the others? There is a chance that it could avoid that end, using the power of something here. I'm referring to what was used to fight against the abyss. It once repaired the rifts of Teyvat long ago.
And it's also nice to hear the Chasm music again, because the Chasm had some amazing tracks.
It has the ability to purify and stabilize powers that shouldn't exist in Teyvat. Forbidden knowledge that its light has shone upon is kept here forever in a different form.
Oh, the filth that's here. Oh. So the Chasm does have Dendro connections. We're talking way back. This is like when the game first came out 1.0. There was a lot of theories that Dendro was tied to the Chasm. Because a lot of people first assumed that the Dendro element would be added alongside the Chasm, and that was why the Chasm didn't come straight away, it was later on. So it does, the filth is tied to the Forbidden Knowledge, which is tied to Sumeru, so thus tied to Dendro. Oh, that's actually kind of clever, I like that.
Yep, it's just like soap bubbles that rise to the water surface. Another strange metaphor.
And it also makes sense, because even when the Forbidden Knowledge was ceased to exist, anything that ceases but once existed in the Abyss would just kind of get, like, morphed. It would just get warped and morphed around. So although it's not forbidden knowledge anymore, because it's so close to the abyss, it absolutely would have contaminated the voidulent space that removing something from existence would do, right? Like, stick with me on this. Like, even though like a voidulent space has been made because it's gone, the abyss being the abyss would recontaminate something over, creating this ooze that's been around. Because this ooze also messes you up, similarly but differently to how the withering messes us up. And the withering, we know, is already tied to forbidden knowledge.
What the Lord of Dendro means is that the apocalypse was altered by the power of the giant spike and hidden within the oozing filth.
Yes, and it shouldn't be far from here. Let's go and take a look.
Oh, I need to get my light bulb out if we're going to explore the chasm. I just remembered. Hang on. So I forgot where the light bulb was. Oh, God damn it, we're having internet trouble again. I'm hoping that will clean itself up. I want to get this quest done in a stream, and I don't want it to keep on fighting me. I know, saying want is one thing, but So I'm taking the slow ride because I just want to enjoy the music. I missed the chasm. You know, it'll be a real shame if, like, a decade or whatever from now, if Genshin servers ever get, like, retired, if this game doesn't get an offline version. Because there's so much music, there's so much legacy, there's so much of this game that, like, deserves, like, to be remembered, deserves to get landmarked, that could just get pushed to the side because, you know, online servers and shit. It'd be such a crime to see all of this trying to become nothing. Also, we've kind of just got a... Yep. So we kind of just still got this sword floating.
It should be the life form from the prophecy.
That light.
Also, it also makes sense, because we first started encountering the fungi enemies in the chasm. So yeah, there's even more of a connection.
Wait. Something dark is coming out. Something's not right!
Anyone back up?
What's going on? Didn't Nahida say it was purified?
Maybe it's because such a long amount of time has passed. Although the power of
Well, the purification is going to cause other things to come out of it.
Apocalypse, it is still a form of dangerous power. It might have lost its mind after being soaked in it for such a long time.
Oh no! But we still have tons of questions we need to ask. I should be able to purge it with my elemental power.
Wait, don't do it. This is definitely connected to forbidden knowledge.
This is our only chance.
I said no, and I mean it. We can't go through that again.
Traveler.
I'm sorry. I got a little anxious.
It's okay. I trust your judgment. I was being a little hasty myself. Think of another way.
What about the crystal?
Oh, yeah! You said that the elemental power in the crystal was identical to theirs. You want to use its power, but...
The Lord of Dendro seems hesitant. I too would advise caution. It's risky to use its power without fully understanding its intended use.
Don't understand. This no good, that no good. Save lives. Important.
Yes, I understand.
If the internet completely gives out again, because it has dipped again, I will just wrap the stream. And what I will do instead is, I'll probably just get rid of the archives on the stream, if I'm being honest, just because it'll annoy me, just having these two, like, stutter steps pieces in there, but no actual hardcore stream. And I will just record, like, a key moment, like, I'll record, like, my encounter with the boss or something, and have that as a manual upload, so there's still something from it.
It's okay.
Hopefully it'll clean itself out and we can do it, but it's annoying me now.
Something to do about the elemental power that will be used.
And it was also, it doesn't really look good on the channel when I suddenly have all these, like, these stuttered pieces of a stream and nothing, like, cohesive. And we'll just try again properly tomorrow.
I understand that you have an amazing resistance to forbidden knowledge.
Amazing resistance. It's because we're not from this world, but sure thing.
Don't overdo it, traveler. Paimon will be worried.
Let's see how this goes. someone going to talk as well? But he's an elemental being, so probably. Hi.
Lord of Dendro, and you others. How long have I been waiting here?
Yay! Looks like it worked!
Lord of Dendro, here in person. Does that mean the apocalypse has come to an end? Wait, did you get smaller again?
I'm sorry. That portion of my memory is highly unreliable at the moment. I can't seem to remember who you are.
That sounds about right. After all, the purpose of my existence is
and just quickly pull his grounded geostream like to the side a second. If you do not bring up Rukadavada, don't do it.
You once said that the apocalypse will be completely eradicated, and that relevant memories will be unstable. Even you couldn't promise that you'd remember our agreement after those events take place. However, you are definitely someone who stays true to your word. My sacrifice is nothing compared to your resolve.
You and I made the agreement?
Yes, you used your power to protect me. That is the reason why I was able to survive here. To be honest, I'm nearing my end. I had thought I'd be stronger than this.
No one can withstand the power of the apocalypse.
In order to preserve a somewhat stable memory,
that's still the same
I had to
artwork, but
change
it's
the
just now
power
shadowed
of
out to reveal the chasm
apocalypse
behind it. That's
into a
cool.
different form. Only the giant spike that fell from the sky was capable of doing something like that. But the moment I chose to go through with it is the moment I lost my chance of being rescued by the Lord of Dendro. But enough about me. Lord of Dendro, let's get to the important matter at hand. As you can see, I won't last much longer.
I understand, and I'm sorry, but can you please tell me what this is?
This is a fire seed. It's an essential item for saving the Dendro Dragon. Thankfully, it appears to be in good condition.
Okay, cool. Second question, where's the Dendro Dragon?
The Lord of Dendro and our people created this item together. It mimics how the Dendro Dragon's Heart of Oasis operates. The Dendro Dragon has been tormented by the apocalypse for far too long. It too is nearing the end of its power. However, if you are able to reactivate its Heart of Oasis using the Fire Seed, then the Dendro Dragon will begin to recover, and as a result, our homeland will return to the way it once was.
Oh, so the Heart of Oasis is a pet source of power.
Okay.
No wonder the crystal was able to heal this fungus just now. That's what it's used for.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a tool of medicine.
You used the Fire Seed to save me?
Why? What's wrong?
That's... never mind. It's not your fault.
Yeah, it's probably supposed to be... No, you're supposed to only use the fire seed for the dragon. Don't waste it on me.
The Fire Seed contains a high concentration of elemental power inside of it.
Oh, we could have broke the thing. Whoops.
Very powerful,
Right,
yet
got it.
fragile at the same time. It is not stable in its current form. To prevent any accidents, please don't use it again.
Since I am its creator, I will take responsibility for it. I assure you there's no need to worry.
All right. Aside from being able to heal the Dendro Dragon, the Fire Seed can also resonate with the Heart of Oasis. In other words, you'll be able to find the Dendro Dragon by following the guidance of the Fire Seed. But you should hurry. There is little time to waste.
What about you?
Forget about me. You should hurry home now.
Everyone is returning home, including you.
As I told you, I've already lost my chance to be saved by the Lord of Dendro. Lord of Dendro, I thank you for coming to find me, and for being willing to save the Dendro Dragon.
Imagine if you hadn't done the Chasm quest yet. You have to do the whole Chasm quest. You have to do all like in the dark adventures, purge all of the oozing zones, get all the way to the bottom here. Maybe we have to even do that Yelan quest. Just for this guy to be like, oh, don't worry about me. You'd be like, you motherfucker, did you not know what I've done?
Our past has been saved, and our future has been ensured. It's enough for me. Just knowing.
Like, the Chasm quest took forever. It was like 2, if not like just 3 streams, I remember, if I recall. Like, it took us a while to get through that.
Hey, wait! It turned into...
Maybe we should not be still standing here?
Can you use the Lumen Stone once more? I can still feel its elemental power. Please, of all of us, it deserves the chance to return home the most.
Okay. It's gonna be gone, huh? Yep.
This is a small ball of light that it left behind.
I can feel it. I can feel its knowledge and emotions. It has all returned to its original elemental form and is becoming one with the other family members. Do not be sad, my friends. Its wish has come true, and it's very happy right now.
Because its external form doesn't matter, right?
Yes, because our external form does not matter, and our home has been saved. There is nothing more important than being together with family.
Let's go!
Home.
Oh, I can take my light bulb off. Hang on. Where are we going? Oh, we finally starting to head over. Got it.
It's not much further. Follow me. We're close now.
Oh, we're going towards the sandstorm? Oh. I thought we were going to be heading more towards this. Can you even see it from here? The void that I've been talking about? If we don't go over there during the stream, I'll show you what I mean afterwards. Because I imagine when you do the world quest, it'll be gone. So it'll be nice to have actual, like, video evidence of it before it goes.
I can feel its power lingering and shifting around us. Sometimes it feels distant, but other times...
I should probably get
it
rid of the
seems
sandstorm.
close.
Hang on.
This is its way of warning us. It has already noticed our presence.
There. It won't fix all our problems, but it will at least make life a bit easier. What's that? Can you see that? That dot? Is that an event thing I didn't do? It is! Hang on. I don't know how well you guys can see it on the stream, but I can see it. Hang on. We're getting sidetracked. Yeah! Okay. Once again, you don't need to do absolutely everything to get 100%, but I, you know, clearly stopped looking. Oh, okay, yeah, that tracked. I was about to say, how are we doing this? I've mentioned it before, but as much as I love Dendro, like the Dendro environment story, I'm not the biggest fan of the region. I find the region kind of annoying to navigate consistently, which is probably why we're gonna find the odd thing here and there that I've missed, even now. Because I do explore it and I do everything I can, but I'm not like after every single detail. If I miss something, I miss something, you know? And that's kind of how I've been since like very early on. Like after the rainforest, that was enough. Oh, is this boss time?
Hey, look! Something's over there!
Oh! Hi!
We found it. A pet, the Dendro Dragon.
This thing looks sick! This thing's cool!
I knew it would be big, but not that big.
That thing's not the weekly boss. It's too big to be the weekly boss.
Puny god, puny human, leave my domain. Frail life forms like you cannot survive in the endless sands of the desert.
Apep, we're here to save you.
I do not need saving, especially not by you, Brewer. You are no different from Amon. Both of you have only existed
Oh
for a
god,
fraction of what
who's
you
Amon?
know as time.
Is Armin Rugadavada? Because if that's the case, then
By leaning on the heavens' glow, you're better off paying attention to your path ahead, as you will fall where you've fallen before.
I know that you hate both gods and humans, but you've grown too weak now. Can't you let go of your hatred, even for only a moment?
Let go. For only a moment, foolish Boor. You will find no gratefulness from me, even if you heal me. You will only be reviving the dragon that will destroy Sumeru and the 7 nations.
No, you're ill, that's all.
That I am. Time will bring death to all. It's unavoidable. Although I am gravely ill, my mind remains clear. I am different from the ancient dragons that came to terms with you.
There's no need for this. There's no point in fighting. What we need is the truth.
The truth. The shackles that the God of Wisdom cannot escape from. I have paid dearly for the truth, and you shall do the same soon enough.
Hey, don't leave! Careful, something's coming. Ah, what is that? Paimon's never seen death before.
oh, yeah, they're new. What the heck are they?
It's our family.
Oh,
Huh? They're your family too?
they're the original forms of you guys, huh?
Fungi.
External form not important.
Yeah, we've already been over this, Paimon. Stop with your whole, but they don't look right. Stop with your weird, like, fascination of they have to look the same. It's coming across kind of... it's kind of coming a bit weird, Paimon.
The composition of their elemental power is identical to ours. In other words, they're residents of our home.
Yeah, same home.
Is this what they've become after experiencing the apocalypse?
This is also a form of adaptation, although a most gruesome and pitiful one. Many of our family members never made it out of the Dendro Dragon. They've gradually taken this form in order to survive the apocalypse.
Is there any way to avoid fighting them? Hey! Can you guys talk? We're here to rescue you!
Also, they've made these full models, but I don't think these are actually, like, considered enemies on the log. So they're either being saved for later, or they really did just, you know, make these new models just for this quest. They're not responding.
They've given it their all just to survive.
They're being drawn by the fire seed. Only its power can temporarily free them from their pain. All that remains are the instincts to survive and search for energy needed to do so. Everything else has been discarded in the process of adaptation.
So this is the result of forbidden knowledge. Would our world become the same if forbidden knowledge was allowed to rampage across Teyvat?
Probably.
Like fish struggling on land, unable to find a single puddle of fresh water in the entire world.
We can talk about this later.
Yes, but please try to be gentle with them. They are not evil in nature. All they want to do is survive.
Okay. Oh, are we actually fighting them? Oh, we are.
There is no
But they don't count as new enemies. So, like, we're not getting the usual new enemy introduction tutorial thing.
Higher, higher, hands on fire!
Was I too harsh? Was I too harsh? The fight just ended the moment I pressed triangle.
They used up all their strength. They don't seem aggressive anymore.
The fact that they had their own moveset tells me they're going to become a normal enemy later on. They got this just not for this update.
Yes, it was never their intention to leave the Dendro Dragon.
Is there a way to make them revert to their elemental form? Years of torment is what turned them into their current state. Their external form has become their shackles. It seems only the fire seed or Apep's Heart of Oasis can save them. But it'll be risky if we use the fire seed again.
Correct. We cannot use the fire seed again.
Everyone goes home, not just us.
This is becoming quite the
Yeah, if you use the fire seed, it could break, but it might save them. But if it does break, we can't save anyone else.
It's fine. Let's use the power of the fire seed. I can't bear leaving them in the desert like this.
But-
Don't worry, the decision is on me. I'll take responsibility for whatever happens.
Oh, Nahida.
It won't require much elemental power. I'm just worried that it'll become unstable. But as long as I use my elemental power to stabilize it a little, it shouldn't be a problem.
Thank you. Sorry. Stubborn.
Thank you, Lord of Dendro.
Returning home is the most important thing to you. I've come to understand that during our travels. I'm not doing this just to protect you, but also because I hope to use you and your experience and try speaking to a pep again. After all, that giant Dendro dragon is also your family.
Yeah.
Maybe it would listen.
I will stand with
That thing's
you,
huge
Lord
though,
of
so yeah.
I will never forget your kindness.
Yes!
Thank you. Alright, here it goes.
Family. We will all be able to go home soon.
Whoa, it's shining now.
Oh, it evolved! It's getting bigger.
Endless amounts of knowledge and emotions are moving inside of me. They're all very excited. To imagine such growth could be achieved in such a short period of time.
It's because you're carrying everyone's hopes and dreams.
Yes, finally, we can go home.
This is the last part. Let's go.
Anytime I put it on auto, it's because I'm trying to clear my nose, because I'm still a little unwell still. So I was just like, yeah, sure, this cutscene's got more time. Uh-oh, no it hasn't. Where are we going next? Okay, up to north. We can walk to that one. Just give me a sec.
Toodaloo.
Alright, let's go. What saw me? Oh, whatever. Surprised we're still over here, though. And not way over the other way. Oh! Oh, I know where a Pep's hidden. There's like a void space way down here in the depths. That I even mentioned in the last stream that I saw and assumed is going to be where the new weekly boss is. Yeah, okay, I know where we're going. There's a huge void... Yeah, this! This is absolutely the new weekly boss spot. Awesome.
This cave is huge. Could this be where the Dendro dragon lives?
We can't go any further.
Yeah. Who knows what's inside that cave? Our goal is not only to find the dragon, but to also enter the world inside of it. That will be impossible if we can't get it to cooperate with us.
Yeah, if we just stroll into its domain when it hates our guts, it will kill us.
But
It's like it's a dragon the size of a continent. It will kill us.
I'll see what I can do.
Doesn't matter if we're like the chosen traveler of another realm. We're also a human being.
I know we don't see eye to eye, and that we have a very different understanding of the world and its orders. However, we are both born of elemental power, and both suffered the torment of forbidden knowledge. We are not that different. And right now, we share a common enemy. We should not let our differences get in the way. Wonder if the Dendro Dragon's even willing to listen. I don't care about what you believe in, who you hate, or what you've done in the name of hatred. Nor do I expect you to be grateful. I'm here to save both you and your people. My people. They've been searching for a way to save you ever since they left their homeland. They yearn for a chance to return home. And now that everything is over, all the hatred that you harbor has lost its meaning. Rather than continuing to fight, you should consider the life you've produced.
No response.
Your eagerness to survive means that you haven't given up on that world yet. If you claim to know so much more than I, then why don't you truly think about why you want to survive? And why you're so vengeful?
Anything? Still no good. Oh, no, never mind. Hurry, grab onto me.
Please keep everyone safe and send us to the homeland.
Is it time for our weekly boss? Oh, it's loading. It might be time for our weekly boss.
Nahida, where are we? Huh? And what about the
Yeah,
traveler?
yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks, Paimon. Good to know I'm not your top priority.
I was only able to ensure that we made it here safely. It's
Are we going to play as
possible they
Nahida
might
to try and find us?
implications.
That'd be interesting.
Well, then let's go have a look up ahead. Paimon's feeling really worried. Yep, let's go. I wouldn't worry too much. The Traveler's no pushover. Paimon knows that. It's just that Paimon isn't used to not having the Traveler around. Let's hurry. She might be just up ahead.
Are we going to actually be playing as Nahida and trying to... We are! We're playing as Nahida trying to find us. That's kind of... okay. Yeah, this is absolutely the new weekly boss. Got it. And we just entered its domain. Did you see that? Yeah, we can't go back. We just entered its domain. Got it.
What's that? That should be the heart of Oasis. All we need to do is light it with the fire seed, and it'll restore a pep with elemental power. The
Paimon looks so
damage
confused.
inside can turn
I'm just like
into
Paimon is silent.
when it
Huh?
begins to heal. Then let's hurry and light it. We still need to find the Traveler. All right, hang on.
Also, if this is yet another weekly boss, please, for the love of God, we need to make an adjustment to how weekly bosses work in terms of getting their resources game. The whole you can fight 3 of them for half the cost doesn't matter when there's so many of them. I'm aware that, like, let's be real here, anytime a new weekly boss is introduced, the previous weekly boss stops mattering. But for people who like to keep on top of their resources and like to make sure they don't miss anything, you have to sacrifice, like, nearly 3 days of the week just to do them now. Or you have to burn, your resources to do it.
Wait! The fire seed! What happened?
Because right now, not using any extras, the span of a day, this weekly boss, Scaramouche, that's 60, the Run Shogun, at that point, you've already used 150, you know, as the internet dips. I just waited.
It shattered. It was even more unstable than I expected. But why? We barely used it.
Unfortunately, we're definitely, even if we manage to get through this quest, we're absolutely not going to do the Layla stuff today because the internet's not being cooperative.
Perhaps the fire seed is only capable of protecting one person. But if I didn't use its power on everyone, there's no way of knowing where you could have been sucked into. And even if that's the case, there's no reason for it to simply shatter, unless... Unless what? Unless I was already in a weakened state when I created this fire seed, which would be when we had first saved the desert. Oh no. Wait.
Oh no!
If the fire seed has shattered, wouldn't that mean we came all this way for nothing? Oh. Do you know what we should do now, Nahida? Oh, come on, Paimon, think!
I only just realized that, like, the height difference between Paimon and Nahida isn't actually as much as I thought it was. Like, don't get me wrong, Paimon's tiny, but, like, it's like from her position, like, the same head level, like, kind of like knee-ish. Like, if Paimon straightens up, it would be like she'd reach, like, Nahida's knees.
Don't worry, Paimon. This is my responsibility. The fire seed is technically just a ball of highly concentrated elemental power. Although my elemental power is slightly different than that of elemental life forms, I gained a better understanding of it when I turned into a fungus. So, all I have to do is imitate that power, while adding some of my own. And I'll be able to do what the fire seed was supposed to. You're gonna become the fire seed? Yes. It'll take a lot of power from me, but it still won't be anything compared to when I was in the desert. I might, however, become even smaller.
Oh.
What happens if you keep getting smaller? I'll become a blade of grass or a twig. Basically, I'll return to how I was first born. I will be able to unleash power beyond my limits if I can reverse the process of growth. But you'll lose everything. You'll not only lose your appearance, but you'll lose your emotions, memories, and who knows what else? That's all right. None of that matters compared to the dangers that a pep is facing right now. No, wait! There has to be another way. Besides, what will Sumeru do if you turn into a twig? Maybe you and the Traveler can plant me in the soil of Sumeru once it is all over. I can still communicate with the world through the forest. It's just that you won't be able to see me for some time. You can't be serious. If the Traveler were here, she definitely wouldn't let you go through with it. If we knew this was how you were going to take responsibility, then we never would have agreed in the first place. I'm sorry, Paimon, but we're out of options. Not all eagles who have fallen to the ground can soar in the sky once again. But if no risks are taken, then the eagle will be grounded forever. No. Please, no, Nahida!
Oh, there we are, doing our bit. What's up, gang? And then a pep's gonna show up.
I know. A sacrifice must be made, but not by the Lord of Dendro.
Yeah, they're gonna take it. They're gonna stop the goddess.
We've all grown on this long journey. If the purpose of that growth was to return home, then our wishes have come true.
It reached its final evolution. I know we made the jokes before that, you know, the fungi are kind of like Pokemon because of that whole one event, but Jesus.
I knew it would come to this. All the knowledge, language, and emotions that you have learned will be reverted into pure elemental energy. In your new homeland, nothing of who you were will remain. You won't be remembered by anyone. Is that truly the return you've always dreamed of?
Lord of Dendro, don't be sad. This is not your home. We go home. Lord of Dendro should also go home.
Hear us, please. Feel our heartfelt desires. Awaken!
Oh, here we are. Evolved from the apocalyptic millennium, warden of the lost oasis.
To imagine such cruelty.
It's because you're carrying everyone's hopes and dreams.
We can go home.
I see everything.
I'm going to take this fight slow like I usually do, just to kind of get a feel for everything, and also get to listen to the music and just enjoy the fight for itself before it becomes the weekly grind.
Gotcha. Busted.
This is also the story fight, so it probably doesn't have that much health to begin with. They tend to make the story fights pretty scripted. Well, not scripted, but you know what I mean. They tend to make them pretty manageable. I mean, this thing's already nearly done. Assuming it doesn't have another phase. Oh, that's a cool effect. Defeat monsters to activate the revitalization process. Oh, are these enemies tied to the boss then? Hang on, let me do this.
I will return no matter how long it takes. This is the agreement we made.
I like this music. It's the Dendro Archon theme, but you know, turned into a boss theme.
Busted.
Deadlier monsters incoming. Yeah, thanks for telling me. What a way of wording it.
More speed.
Are we done? Yes. Phase 3? Or just piano? Oh, piano! Final phase. Revived by the Fire Seed, Warden of the Oasis Prime.
I learned a wonderful word. Smooth, which means light. It will be one.
Oh, it's a piano-based theme. Oh, okay, so this is the same as like the Right Shogun fight where you gotta break open a shield to survive one of the attacks.
Shine down. Here
Let's go.
now you shall perish.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Whoops! I wasn't meant to do that much damage. Whoops! You need to quell it. Got it. No, not slay it. Yeah, riding the Dragon Slayer, still same. Oh, whoops.
You fungi said that your form didn't matter, right? Then let us know that you're alright.
That's enough, Paimon.
Their knowledge, memories, and emotions have been reverted to elemental power and released. They are no longer able to respond to you.
We'll absolutely try and rematch that fight outside of the quest to see what it's like, because we kind of just skipped the whole of that last phase because of our ultimate. Maybe I'm too powerful.
Guardians that have accompanied me for countless
I wasn't expecting it to
have
just do
also
that.
transformed into my elemental power. Just as they did, they will be born once again now that they're one. There's nothing to be sad about.
That's different! They won't ever be the same. Paimon, we will never understand it, and it will never understand us. That's how it's destined to be. But as long as you can be healthy again, then nothing else matters to me, Apep. Samara will be free from threat as long as your health is maintained.
I thought that my rage would be kindled once my power returned to me. However, what I feel now is a feeling that has long eluded me. The feeling of peace.
The forbidden knowledge influenced you ever since you were contaminated, greatly amplifying your hatred and rage.
Yes, there's no denying that. Although my hatred for that usurper from beyond the heavens still stirs deep within me, destroying you and your people serves me no purpose.
I am noticing a trend with the dragons in Genshin. All of them seem to be angry at something, and then after you beat them down, it's actually like their anger came from something else, and although it still exists, they can be understanding. It's like, why do all these dragons have such, like, problems with their temper for various reasons? Like, Dvalin was literally just the thing was in pain because of all the abyss spikes in it. Like, Azhdaha, it separated its body from its spirit, and the body was what was raging on. And now Apep, like, had this hatred for the gods in the realm, but was under the influence of forbidden knowledge. It's like, why do all the dragons have anger of things beyond their control? Like, it's an interesting, like, trend with them.
Be that as it may, my position still stands, and I will have nothing to do with you. When you inevitably perish due to your ever-expanding curiosity, I will still sneer and mock you in my heart.
Sheesh, who can put up with you? I respect your decision, and with time, I will prove to you that we will not repeat our mistakes. Before you begin resting, there is one last thing I would like to know. How did you become affected by forbidden knowledge?
It's a long story. We all once believed in the distant past that only forbidden knowledge could give us enough power to defeat the heavenly principles. The Dragon King acquired the power of darkness from outside
Nibelung.
and led us.
I think that's pronounced. The Dragon King Nibelung.
Established by the outsiders.
Dragon King?
An unimaginable war took place into that, causing destruction on an unprecedented scale. The world itself was on the verge of collapse. In war, the victor would inherit the right to shape the world, while the losers must turn into ash. But I didn't give up on searching for a way to turn the tides, even after the death of the Dragon King. As I attempted to collect more forbidden knowledge from the corners of the world, as it was on the verge of collapse, I was stopped by the giant spike that fell from the sky.
Oh, one of the Celestial Needles. Like, there's one in Dragonspine and there's one in the Chasm. Is it one of them?
Sand dunes arose where there was only forest. And it was
Oh,
as if
or was it
even
talking about
itself was trying to tell
the
me
thing that caused the desert to even form? That
Ayana
spike. You might be talking about that instead. That's even about an hour. Yeah, no worries, one man. Hope you're doing well. You've joined us kind of late because we're on the other side of the quest. I know you had a little bit of internet trouble, but we've been going. We were going for about 45 minutes, and then we've been going since for like about an hour and a half. Or hour and 20.
But you still didn't give up, did you? Because of Amen Al-Ahmar.
Yes. Al-Ahmar eventually obtained this power with the help of Nabu Malikata.
The goddess of flowers.
His ambitions continued to grow, and he planned to establish a powerful kingdom in my domain. I allowed his...
So after this quest is done, we're going to fight the boss again, just so we can actually see what it's like, since we kind of rinsed it, and it'll be our level, because I think that was like, you know, scripted level, whilst when we fight it, it'll be our level.
The condition was that after his death, all the knowledge he came to accumulate would belong to me. At that time, I still harbored deep regrets. By the time the Dragon King finally returned, the world had irrevocably changed. Some of the dragons have grown close to your kind, and have forgotten all about our hatred from when the world was taken from us. And some died, leaving behind nothing but their bones. While others chose to flee after experiencing pain and agony. But for me, the scales and will of the Dragon King still shine bright in my heart. Even to this day, I will follow it until the end of my time.
You really are insane.
When Al-Ahmar's proud kingdom collapsed, I swallowed him whole as I agreed, and absorbed his elemental power.
You know, it's a shame that we basically find like the flower form of Pep. I know it would be a nightmare to figure out how to program it, considering the thing's the size of a continent, but I would have loved to have tried to square off against like full size of Pep. After we saw the shadow of it, and you know, it was like big enough that even like leaning forward, like it was beyond the clouds, like leaning into space. It would have been fun to see how the game handles that kind of fight, to see how they would try and figure that shit out.
However, what I gained was no benefit. No. I gained the apocalypse. I used up all my strength just trying to keep the pain under control.
But I suppose even this has its limits. They might have like billions upon billions of dollars, but even it has its limits, because when we saw a Pep, it was clearly a sprite and not a model. I don't think they were going to 3D model something that's like the biggest model in the game. It would have been way too much.
But even then, I still believe that his insanity was far greater than that of my own.
So that's how the apocalypse started.
I admit that I fell for his trap. I was like a final failsafe in his plan. Tiny Booer, and the rest of you, continue forward. I shall keep a watchful eye. How far will a life so dear and precious to the heavenly principles be able to go? I wonder.
Are we about to get kicked out? So is the boss spawn where I thought it is then, in the cave? 'Cause that makes sense. And in the new area, it really is just like an extension.
Looks like we've been sent back out. Still in one piece, too.
Yeah, we lost our buddies. We lost our fungus buddies, though, but
The dragon will need to rest for a very long time before it is
yeah, I think that's going to be our spawn. That's a cool boss spawn arena, to be fair. That's a cool entrance.
It's not as ruthless as it was before. Curing the dragon of its illness has seemingly made it more open to reason.
Nobody's in a good mood when they're feeling sick.
Shit, don't I know it.
Even though you know something really
I'm
important.
still sick.
Paimon still doesn't feel happy for some reason.
Bringing everyone home was supposed to be a happy occasion, but it seems to have lost some of its meaning.
Indeed. Although they'll still have the chance to be born again, they've lost their memories of their journey and their feelings for their homeland.
Cold Steel 4, I'm still dealing with processing it. Yeah, because you're at the end of the saga, at least for now, assuming they don't do a Cold Steel 5. At the end of the saga now, so you're kind of at the end of the road. I hope you enjoyed it, though, and it was worth getting to, and everything was what you hoped it was.
Perhaps the immense power we released was the pouring out of all these irreplaceable emotions that had built up.
And just in time, too, because Reverie's not too far away. It's a couple months yet, isn't it?
Can you really call a place with no family your home?
Wow, Paimon, that got really philosophical all of a sudden.
Family. Right! The Hydra fungus left behind its family. Those two fungi might be waiting for it to return.
Oh yeah! Let's hurry and go take a look! How are we going to explain all the
I was
complicated
ahead of writing more. All I need to know is the platinum in the game, and it's in July. And it's in July. Ah, okay. Because I saw on like the official Twitter account that they posted new screenshots, so I knew it was imminent. But yeah, I think this is the boss arena. I think it's not active right now because, you know, we haven't finished the quest. But I think it will literally be like we warp to over here. But if that's the case, this is probably the coolest looking boss arena we've had. Especially compared, and I'm going to show it, especially compared to the other boss arena, the last major boss arena, which is just some crack in the ground. You know? Anyway, back to the city. We got to explain to Hydro Homie's friends, or Hydro Homie's family, its child, that's still waiting to come back, that it ain't coming back. Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting discussion. Just Magic the Gathering Jules as a Planeswalker.
Have
Yeah.
you really been waiting here all this time?
We're back. I'm sorry. I really am. But it's gone home and won't be able to return for a very long time.
Yeah, sorry, your significant other and parents are gone.
Don't be sad. It did it to protect you. Your happiness is more important to it than anything else in the world. It's said that Newer is its most important family member. That's your name, isn't it? Oh. This is wonderful. So it has left traces of itself after all. They will definitely meet again. Someday.
Is that the end of the quest? Homecoming complete. Okay, cute quest. It was good for lore. I think that was my thing for it. It was very good for lore. We got to learn a lot, but they too were once flawless. New major boss. Let's go do it. And it is here. Awesome. What am I gonna do? Where is it? Yeah, I'll use one of them so we can actually reap the rewards of this boss. Sure. Alright, let's see how this major boss is like when you're actually fighting it at the appropriate level. During the revitalization phase, the battle objective is to protect the heart of Oasis. Progress will be made when the constant influx of monsters defeated, and it will decrease when it's attacked. When defeated, some enemies will restore energy for characters. Alright, let's go. Does it not say anything? Oh, that was a shame.
Illusion shattered. Shut up.
This one doesn't seem to have that much resistance. It might actually be one of the easier weekly bosses. Actually, I say this is kind of bulky now. I'm kind of wailing into it. But this is only phase 1.
Shine down.
We know it's got 3 phases.
Crush.
It kind of reminds me of Lesson Nora. Phase 1, you just fight the thing. phase 2 is a shell you have to break one way or another, and then phase 3 is like the real final fight. Because now it's going to make the shell similar to how La Signora crystallizes. Then we need to defeat these guys. I am going to listen to that sick piano again when it transforms into phase 3 because it was cool. You know me, I'm a sucker for my pianos. Oh, I need to destroy that because that protects them.
Take it easy. Illusion.
And this is a better way of doing it than La Signora's boss fight, because La Signora's boss fight is find specific crystal flies that will only spawn in during specific sections, and it's just like, it just turns the boss into a waiting game for that second phase.
Shine down.
Whilst this, you have to actually get involved still. It's still a test of your abilities. Alright, that's going to defend it. I need to deal with this.
There is no escape. Beg for mercy. Vengeance will be mine. Rack and ruin.
Okay, phase 3. Right, let's try and actually experience this phase, because last time I just dropped my ult and the thing died immediately. But this guy will be bulkier anyway, because, you know, it's higher level.
Shudder.
I love this thing's so animated. I love how, like, silky smooth all of its animations and movements is. Such as the animation team went in for this thing, you know? And of course, yeah, the giant grass monster is super weak to fire. That makes sense. I told you it would be. The aftershocks of the apocalypse. That's such a cool naming for it.
There is no escape.
Doesn't seem to have much else to it though. It's just summon that thing. Yeah. Alright. Actually a kinda simpler weekly boss then. It's appreciated. It makes a difference compared to some of the previous ones. Where does that... I wonder where... Where would I put that compared to the other weekly bosses? My favourite is Scaramouche still. That fight is fantastic. I'd probably put it somewhere in the middle. Because it's not as easy as, like, fucking Child and these two schmucks. But it's certainly not got that challenge factor that, like, Age-Dahar and La Signora, Raiden Shogun... And certainly not what Skara has. Like, it's actually kind of, like, in the middle of the road. It's actually surprisingly manageable. The Realm of Beginnings. But I like it. It's just there's really not much going on for it in terms of difficulty-wise. But I like it. I did say before we wrap, even though I'm not going to recover later stuff because my internet's being a bit shoddy, and I've also got work later, and I also don't want to over-strenuous myself, that I would, wrong warp, highlight the new Abyss fight. So I'm going to do that. Which, for the record, I actually struggled with when I found it yesterday. So if I struggled with it, it's like, the thing's actually harder than the new weekly boss, which I find kind of funny. But yeah, I know this has been a shorter-ish stream. Even if we didn't have the internet drop on us again, it still would have been, like, you know, just under 3 hours, I think, so... I don't mind doing this. And the only reason I'm not covering the later stuff, even though I did want to, is just because I don't trust the internet to stay strong. Hopefully it'll be a bit easier tomorrow. And I'm not the only one looking into a solution. My stepdad has very generously offered to try and look into it for me as well, to try and see if he can come with anything. And if anyone's going to find a solution, it's absolutely going to be him. He has, it's almost like in like his blood. He can't not somehow always find a solution to these things. Oh, let me just ult. If you're in fire form, this works out perfectly. Yep.
Freeze to the core.
Oh, okay, of course, that time it went way easier. When I fought this thing yesterday, it kicked my ass. It kicked my butt hard. Alright, that'll do. But yeah, this guy's here. To get to him, that door I used is locked. You have to go find it from like this side, go around and under, and then when you beat it for the first time, you can find a green dude that will destroy the illusion so you can get through it from this side. I'll show you. Usually there's a wall here and you have to activate this guy and it gets rid of the wall so you can access it, for people curious. But next time we meet, I don't know when the console version of Star Rail is coming out, but the next time we meet in Hoyoverse might actually be trying out Star Rail. It comes out next week for PC and mobile, with it just saying coming soon for console. And that could mean anytime. Genshin was supposed to be a coming soon for console and ended up dropping the same day. But we'll see. Whenever it drops though, I do want to at least do one stream covering it, because I'm really curious how a turn-based RPG from Hoyoverse will work. And all the footage I've seen on it, it looks pretty fun. But we'll see. We'll see. But that's kind of it from me. I know this is kind of a shorter stream, but yeah, I wanted to do Nahida's quest, and we did it, so that's where we're going. And I don't trust my internet to remain stable. I am, as you can see, 60%, 62%, working on the new land in my spare time. We got a new event to do, but I'm not worried about that. And whatnot, and so there's the Layla event. But I am working on this stuff as well. I hate that game now. Yeah, Star Rail, I thought it was a tactics RPG, but it's because there's like a tactics mini game to it, and I saw that first, so clearly just misunderstood. It's a turn-based RPG based in the Honkai universe, so in that kind of like slightly science fiction-y universe sort of thing. And when I heard about it, I was like, oh, and it's coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 as coming soon. So I don't know if it'll be the same day. Genshin was also coming soon for console version, and it ended up being the same day, but I doubt that would happen twice. I think that was more coincidental that Genshin ended up finished and ready to go for console at the same time, so they could have that surprise nail drop. But when it comes out, I'll absolutely do at least one stream trying it out, because it looks fun. But until then, let me go back to base. Yeah, if you get the chance, look up footage for it, like gameplay for it. It's still like, it's got like the on-screen HUD, the same as Genshin. Like, it's still got like, it tells you what button does in the corner. It still has your character's health on like the right side that you can swap between the D-pad. But when you encounter an enemy, like, it does like the screen crack animation and transitions into a fight, and all the characters like are in a row in their stances, and you like click commands. I was like, oh, this is just this is a turn-based RPG. And like once everyone in the team did their commands, it went to the enemy's turn, and they took an action. And like you had this system called reactionaries, where like if you had like a set amount of magic left, you could like interrupt an enemy's turn depending on what they did, to like stop their turn to give you another turn, but only if your strategy was built right. And I was like, oh, this game might be fun. But I digress. It looks fun, and I'll definitely give it at least a stream. We'll see. Like I say, at least a stream. I might end up super enjoying it, but the idea of like playing 2 Hoyoverse games on the go would sound like torture for my wallet if I end up getting into it, so we'll see. I imagine similar to like, you know, Honkai Third Impact and Genshin, you can absolutely experience and enjoy the whole game without spending a penny, but still. But I digress. I gotta wrap up. My throat's starting to go anyway, so I think it's a good time to stop. We should get back on Hades tomorrow, assuming firstly the internet holds and secondly my health still holds. I am feeling mostly better, it's just I don't want to take the piss. I don't want to, like, overexert and then, like, suffer the consequences for it, which is why doing just, you know, the story quest, so I don't have to talk as much, was the better way forward. You can probably still hear it in my voice, so I'm not 100%. But Hades tomorrow, I might stream on Saturday as well. I'll almost definitely take Sunday off. But next week, we'll be finishing off RE4 and getting a crack on with Riser 3, because Riser 3, we kind of let that hang for a while now, and I want to kind of get a move on with that as well, before we worry about anything else. Like, as much as the Pixel remasters for Final Fantasy come out next week, we won't be starting them the moment they come out, just because the schedule's already kind of packed. And I want to get started on other things. Like, I want to start Caligula Effect 2 soon. I want to try out Crystar. I don't know if I'll like Crystar, but I at least want to try it out soon, before Cry Makimo is out. I, you know, want to cover more of the RE journey at some point, before it starts really getting away with me. There's a lot of things I want to do, and so to keep on top of it, something's got to give. So just putting Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters to one side just for now is the way it's going to be. But that's enough from me, because my voice is starting to go now. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry about the internet trouble again. I wish I had a solution. But it be what it do for now. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for some more Hades runs. Now we've managed to beat our first run, trying to get back into the swing of it and see where the story goes. But until then, remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It genuinely really helps this channel grow. You can find my Twitter and Patreon in the description of every video if you feel so inclined. And I will see you tomorrow for Hades. Until then, you guys take care now. Peace.